Hello and welcome to the marvellous show Game of Thrones. If you've never watched before, I'm your host Steve, and it's a react show to the Game of Thrones because I'd never watched an episode before. This is going way back before even lockdown, and now I'm absolutely hooked. It's the greatest series of all time, absolutely love it, and I'm getting sad because it is coming towards the end and I don't want it to end, and I'm really getting kind of anxious, not because of anything that's happening in the show, but more the fact that what do I do when it's gone? I can't. I might have to watch the whole lot again, I think, because I can't really not watch it at the minute. So if you like Game of Thrones, please hit subscribe, like, comment, hit the bell, all that malarkey. That's all done. And so we watched episode 2 of season 7 last time, Stormborn. Awesome episode. So much going on. I'm not liking what's going on, to be honest. It's really getting me nervous. There's lots of potential things that could go horribly wrong, and a lot of characters that I quite like that could die, so I'm not looking forward to that. And we all know what Game of Thrones are like. Just when you start to love a character, they'll probably kill them off. So we first of all had Daenerys confronting Varys about his loyalty, and I think she went way too far with that. I don't know, sometimes she really annoys me. She kind of blows hot and cold. Sometimes I really love her, and other times she really annoyed me in that last episode. I'm hoping that she's not starting to go a little bit mad like her father. So she confronted Varys about his loyalty, and he basically said, "Look, I'm here for the people," and she made him promise that if he thinks that she's being out of line with regards to the people, that he has to tell her, and he promised that he would. And then she said, "If you ever betray me, I'll burn you," basically. So there you go. So that's where it was with there. And also we had a little visit from an old friend, Melisandre. She suddenly turned up out of the blue. And she basically convinced Daenerys that she needs to get in contact with Jon Snow. Because she said he's now, she said you need to speak to him about the things that he's seen, with regards to the walkers and stuff. And so I think it was left where Daenerys actually sent him a message saying that she wanted to meet him. He was to come down there and take the knee. That's another moment from Daenerys there. I was like, okay, we all know you're the queen, chill. So we left it where Jon and Davos were on there, just leaving to go down there, which potentially could be really nightmarish because Littlefinger, who obviously not confronted Jon, but sort of tried to chat with Jon in the catacombs, and came across as a bit of a dick. And Jon sort of basically grabbed him by the throat. So that wasn't probably a good thing to do, considering that it was Littlefinger that basically rescued his ass, basically. So now I wouldn't put it past Littlefinger now to let Cersei know that Jon's on his way down to meet Daenerys. I wouldn't put it past him doing that at all, because he looks hurt now, and I think he's going to do something stupid. But I guess we'll see. And Daenerys also had a meeting with all the kind of the heads of the houses. She had Alleria, Olenna, and Yara. I think that was it. Yeah. And they kind of got a plan together about how they were going to take King's Landing. And it was quite a good plan, I have to say. So you're going to have the Unsullied and the Dothraki are going to attack Casterly Rock. And then the Dorne army and the Tyrells are going to lay siege to King's Landing, which I thought was a really good plan, really good. Because I think initially Daenerys was just going to go all out with the dragons and just wipe the whole place away. But Tyrion basically said, you don't want to be the Queen of Ashes, which is a really good line. However, I thought at first, when I first saw it, I thought that when Yara's fleet went out, that they actually had the Unsullied army on there, but they didn't. They were taking Alleria back to Dorne to start the process, ready for the attack. And their ships were attacked by Euron, who I cannot stand. And he basically, I don't know if it would have been the whole fleet, would it? There was no reason why it would be the whole fleet, so I guess it was a few ships. But he just wiped them out. The daughters of Alleria have been killed. I think two of them were killed. I'm not sure the other one wasn't, but two of them are definitely killed. So now he's got Yara as prisoner, he's got Alleria and one of the daughters, I can't remember their name. And I guess that is the gift that he's going to present to Daenerys, and I'm dreading that. So this episode is called The Queen's Justice, and I am not in the slightest bit positive about what's going to happen. I think some kind of nasty torture and probably burning, and I think she'll probably kill all three of them, which is going to be awful. And if that happens, Daenerys is going to go all out. I think the whole plan will be put aside, and I think she will just go all out attack on King's Landing, because that's the sort of person that Daenerys is. She won't stick to the plan now. And to be honest, I think that's probably the best thing to do now, because the Dawn Army are going to basically be out of it now. You've lost Yara's fleet, so I think she's going to have to now. I think she's going to have to attack. I'm quite looking forward to that, to be honest, because I want to see King's Landing get flattened, to be quite honest. So yeah, and also on the ship, Euron had Yara sort of with a sword at her throat, and Theon had the chance to kind of, I don't know what he was going to even do, to be honest, because not a lot that he could do. And he started getting flashbacks of the whole Ramsay episode, and he just jumped overboard. And the last shot, you saw him kind of floating on a bit of driftwood. And I think he's completely gone again. So I don't know what's going to happen to Theon now. I really genuinely am feeling sorry for Theon now. And I know he was a dick in the first couple of seasons, but all he's been through, it's probably worse than death, to be honest. And I do genuinely feel sorry for him now, and I really wanted something good to happen to him. But I think we might be waiting some time for that. He had a big bit of Old Town and Sam, which was brilliant. He is basically trying to help Jorah now, try and get rid of the grayscale. And he did ask one of the top maesters if he would be able to try, and they said the cat Grog said no, it's illegal, you're not allowed to attempt it. So then at night he crept into Jorah's it looks like a cell. I can call it a cell. I'll call it a room. I'll call it a room for argument's sake. He crept into his room and started the procedure to remove it, which is horrific. It's basically just slicing the entire lot off straight through to the flesh, and then putting an ointment on afterwards. And he wasn't allowed to make a single sound during this, because obviously if they found out Sam was doing that, he'd have got his ass kicked out. So that was pretty horrific. And he's got so much on him as well. That was going to be a long procedure. So I'm excited to see how that's gone. Hopefully we're going to see a bit of that in this episode. In the Riverlands we had Arya. By the way, I'm going to try and call her Arya from now on. I know I've been calling her Arya. There was a big hoo-ha about that ages ago, and I said, right, it's going to be Arya, and that's it. But she says Arya, so I'm going to try and say Arya from now on. Try, but I'll probably cock up. So anyway, we had Arya met up with Hot Pie again, which was really, really cute. And he is big. He's put on a serious amount of pies. And he was chatting away to her, and he said, are you going on your way back to Winterfell? We didn't call it Winterhell, we called it Winterfell, by the way. And she said, why would I go there? The Boltons run that. And he goes, no, not anymore. He said, Jon Snow's now King of the North, he's taken it over. And her face was a picture. And she went out on her horse, and she either decided she had to go left for King's Landing or right to Winterfell, and she turned and went right, which I was really chuffed about, because I didn't want to go into King's Landing, not with all about what's about to go off there. So hopefully she'll get to Winterfell, but she won't see Jon because he's on his way down, so they're going to miss each other again. But hopefully she will actually get to meet Sansa again, which would be really cool. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that actually happens. Also on the way up there, she was attacked by a pack of wolves, and a huge direwolf, which I think was actually her one that she had to get rid of in the first season. I think it was the second episode of the first season. It's the one that attacked Joffrey, really. And and that turned out to be that actual wolf. I got a bit confused when she said that's not you. Obviously now I realise that Ned, way back in the first season again, said to Arya, see Arya, he said to her, oh, when you grow up you'll have a prince and live in a castle, and she said then that's not me. And that was a callback to them, which I thought was really cute. The wolves, they left her alone once they remembered who she was. I think they all left. It'd have been so nice for them to have stuck with her. That'd have been really cool, but she's back on her way now up to Winterfell. Could be a lot of adventures for her on the way up there. Although having said that, they are shooting through these stories quite quick, so I reckon probably in the next episode she'll probably already arrive there. So we'll see. And good old Randall Tarley, who I can't stand. He was summoned to Cersei in King's Landing, and amongst all the other kind of heads of houses, she's trying to get as many people on side as she can. And he made it quite clear to Jaime that he didn't like Cersei, and that he was loyal to Olenna, because he'd known her since he was a kid. But I think Jaime kind of put it where, if you're not with us and you're against us, it was that kind of thing, and Jaime was being a bit of a cock. It wasn't. I mean, I guess that he is going to go on their side, but it wasn't made crystal clear that he was. But I'm guessing he will, because he's a bit of a cock. So yeah, that basically was it. That was a really an amazing episode. Horrible ending. I really hated that ending. But I think we're going to kick straight on when we start this now, and it's going to probably carry on where that left off. But let's crack on with it then. Oh no, we can't. We're not. No. I didn't forget. I've got to do the loves and the hates. So my loves for the last 2 episodes only. In third place is Arya. I think she's been brilliant in the last couple of episodes. The first episode was genius. That completely fooled me. The whole Lord Frey thing was brilliant. And then what she did in that last episode, I also thought was really cool as well. Making the decision to go back to Winterfell, so I'm really excited about her storyline at the moment. So yeah, she's my number 3 at the moment. Number 2 is The Hound. Again, the first episode, he wasn't in the second episode, but the first episode was just brilliant. That scene with him, I loved it. Seeing that vision in the fire, kind of giving that daughter and father the burial that they sort of deserved. His kind of character arc is brilliant. You still wouldn't mess with him, but he's so different. I remember I watched my reactions to the first ever 2 episodes, and he was completely different back then. It was a nasty bit of work, but now he's completely different. I'm really loving where he's going at the moment, and that vision that he had freaked me out and it gave me goosebumps. So I'm really, really excited about Hound's story at the minute. So yeah, he's my number 2 at the moment. And number 1 is no, it's not. It's Sam. He's my number 1. Oh God, I've always loved Sam. I don't know why he hasn't been in my loves more often, to be honest. I think because now they really, the story seems to be quite a bit about Sam. He's the last couple of episodes he's had quite a bit. And that last episode was brilliant. That scene with him and Jorah was absolute classic. I loved it. And I think he's got a heart of gold. He's really helping Jon out, even though he's there, and he's really risking everything by helping Jon, and also by helping Jorah as well. And I don't think it's very long. I can't see him being there much longer. I think he's going to get caught out, and he's probably going to get kicked out as well. I hope he doesn't, but yeah, he's breaking all the rules. But you know, I love him to bits. I really do. So yeah, he is my absolute number 1 this week. My hates at number 3 is Jaime. I have not liked Jaime in the last 2 episodes at all, and I think I said it before. His kind of character, there's not been another character where it's such a roller coaster. Where sometimes I absolutely love him, sometimes I absolutely hate him. You never know what you're going to get with Jaime. But I predicted what's happening now, and he's doing all Cersei's dirty work again. I can't stand it. I hate it. I don't know, and he comes across as a bit thick. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in his head. How he can still be so faithful to Cersei. I don't get it. Perhaps if she does marry Euron, perhaps that is what will be the breaking point for him. Perhaps if that happens, I don't know. But oh God, he needs to seriously grow a pair. He really does. Yeah. He's annoyed me so far. These last 2 episodes, he's done nothing but annoy me, and I'm hoping that that's going to change again soon, because I really used to like Jaime, especially when it was Jaime and Brienne. That was brilliant. And number 2 is Euron. There's nothing positive to say about him, is there? He's a complete cock. I don't know. Fair play. I mean, he does walk around like he's got the biggest bollocks on the planet, and fair play to that. But no, I mean, what he did, especially in that last episode, you know, taking Yara and all that. I hate all that. I hated even when he was mocking Theon before. That was horrible as well. He's just been nothing but nasty. I mean, he is a nasty guy, and yeah, there's nothing positive really you can say about him, to be honest. So yeah, he is my number 2 this week. And number 1 is Cersei. Yeah, she's still there. I think if we had like an ultimate, I might do it actually at the end of the last ever episode. I might do like the ultimate loves and hates and add up all the ones that I've said. God, that'll take ages. But anyway, I might do it. I'm not sure. But I think she'd probably be the ultimate number 1. She's completely lost the plot. But she's wiped out half of King's Landing. Thousands and thousands of people must have died when she did that. She just doesn't care. She really just doesn't care. She's completely single-minded. She only really gives a shit about herself now. And I think I've got a horrible feeling she's going to be doing some really horrible things to Alleria and Yara and her daughter, and I think it's going to be awful, and I think this is what the next episode's going to entail. So I'm not looking forward to it at all, and nothing surprises me about Cersei anymore. She's pretty much gone as low as you can go. I mean, she killed her own son, basically, she did. So you can't get much lower than that. So yeah, she is my number one. So all that done, let's get on with the episode. This is episode 3, The Queen's Justice, which I'm assuming is Cersei. It could be Daenerys. It could be Daenerys, but I don't think it is. It could be the one where it's both of them, perhaps. You know, featuring where it's a lot of those two. But I think I've got a feeling it's going to be Cersei, and it's going to be horrible. I'm not looking forward to it one bit. Deep breath. It'll be fine. Let's just crack on with this. I'll see you in a minute.
There are no men like me.
Well, I probably found out what's going on, haven't I? Whoa! Oh my god, I can't get used to the time jumps, man. He's already there. Holy shit. That's crazy.
The bastard of Winterfell. The dwarf of Casterly Rock. I believe we lost each other at the top of the wall.
You were pissing off the edge, if I remember right.
I'm Tyrion Lannister.
Davos Seaworth.
The Onion Knight. We fought on opposite sides at the Battle of Blackwater Bay.
Unluckily for me.
If you wouldn't mind handing over your weapons.
Is that necessary? I mean, they're surrounded with...
Of course. And Sansa. I hear she's alive and well.
She is.
Does she miss me terribly? A sham marriage. And unconsummated.
I didn't ask.
Well, it was. Wasn't. Anyway. She's much smarter than she lets on. Stark men don't fare well when they travel south.
True. But I'm not a Stark.
Jesus!
I'd say you get used to them. But you never really do.
Wow. Oh no, it's not Melisandre, is it? Oh god, no! Davos is going to go mental!
I wondered why you weren't there to meet our guests.
I've done my part. I've brought ice and fire together. I did not part on good terms with the King of the North, or his advisor,
Why?
because of mistakes I made.
So where will you go?
Volantis.
Good. I don't think you should return to Westeros. I'm not sure you'd be safe here.
I will return, dear Spider. One last time.
My lady.
I have to die in this strange country, just like you.
Ooh. It must be his vision that he had. That must be what it's all about. I hope he doesn't die. I don't want him to die. I like Varys. She can make him go on the knee. I hate that. Don't be a twat, Daenerys.
You stand in the presence of Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, rightful heir to the Iron Throne, rightful Queen of the Andals and the First Men, protector of the Seven Kingdoms, the Mother of Dragons, the Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea, the Unburnt, the Breaker of Chains.
I'm Jon.
This is Jon Snow. He's King in the North.
Thank you for traveling so far, my lord. I hope the seas weren't too rough.
The winds were kind, Your Grace.
Apologies. I have a flea-bottom accent, I know. But Jon Snow is King in the North, Your Grace. He's not a lord.
Forgive me.
Your Grace, this is Sir Davos Seaworth.
Forgive me, Sir Davos. I never did receive a formal education, but I could have sworn I read the last king in the North was Torrhen Stark, who bent the knee to my ancestor Aegon Targaryen. In exchange for his life, and the lives of the Northmen, Torrhen Stark swore fealty to House Targaryen in perpetuity. Or do I have my facts wrong? So I assume, my lord, you're here to bend the knee.
Come on, Daenerys.
I am not. Your father burned my grandfather alive. He burned my uncle alive. He would have burned the Seven
My
Kingdoms.
father was an evil man. On behalf of House Targaryen, I ask your forgiveness for the crimes he committed against your family. And I ask
Whoa.
you not to judge a daughter by the sins of her father. Then why are you here?
Because I need your help, and you need mine. But you haven't stormed King's Landing. Why not? The only reason I can see is you don't want to kill thousands of innocent people. It's the fastest way to win the war, but you won't do it. Which means, at the very least, you're better than Cersei. Your Grace, everyone you know will die before winter's over if we don't defeat the enemy to the north.
As far as I can see, you are the enemy to the north.
I'm not your enemy. The dead are the enemy.
The dead. Is that another figure of speech?
The army of the dead is on the march.
The army of the dead.
The army of the dead is real. The White Walkers are real. The Night King is real. I've seen them. If they get past the wall, and we're squabbling amongst ourselves...
I was born to rule the Seven Kingdoms.
Not listening to him.
And I will.
You'll be rolling over a graveyard if we don't defeat the Night King.
All those things you don't believe in. He faced those things. He fought those things for the good of his people. He risked his life for his people. He took a knife in the heart for his people. He gave his own...
By declaring yourself king of the northernmost kingdom, you are in open rebellion.
Am I your prisoner?
Not yet.
That was a bit tense.